Thank you, Mr. Singhal. That was indeed very enlightening. May I now request Mr. Martin Strube for his presentation. But before he comes on the dais, to speak, I would like to just talk about him. Mr. Strube is in India since 2011 as the Deputy Chief of Mission. He's held various posts around the globe, a few being in Netherlands, in Vienna, where he was Deputy Permanent Representative. He was responsible for all international organizations based in Vienna. He was also in the Federal Department of Foreign Affairs, Bern, as Deputy Head UN Section from 1995 to 1999. He was the Deputy Head of Mission in Lima, responsible for economic, political and cultural affairs between 1991 and 1995. He was in Geneva as a Swiss mission to EFTA. May I welcome Mr. Martin Strube. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Mr. Singhal, Ines Soin, Arvind Mr. Kam, thank you also for your introduction, and thank you very much for your promotion of Switzerland. I do not know what I have to add, what I can add, but maybe I can add some parts of it. First of all, as to Swiss watches, yes, I fully agree. I bought this watch 2 weeks ago here in India, and it's much cheaper than in Switzerland. Thank you very much for this promotion also. I would like to focus this evening a little bit on innovation. Switzerland is a special place, a small country with no raw materials, and we have to do something out of what we have, and innovation is certainly one of the key factors which has brought Switzerland where it stands today. Ladies and gentlemen, I feel very privileged to address such a distinguished group of business leaders and senior decision makers, and I wholeheartedly thank you for your interest in joining our today's seminar on Switzerland, a competitive international business location. According to an annual World Economic Forum report, Switzerland is the most economically competitive country in the world for the 4th year in a row. The Global Competitiveness Report 2012 cites Swiss innovation and its efficient labor market as the country's greatest strength, followed by its sophisticated business sector. Let me therefore start with innovation. Innovation is crucial to sustain and drive growth in both developed and emerging economies. The capability to innovate and to bring innovation successfully to a market will be a crucial determinant of the global competitiveness of nations over the coming decade. And innovation, ladies and gentlemen, has also become an important aspect of Indo-Swiss investments and partnerships. Due to the lack of significant natural resources, except for water, Switzerland realized at a relatively early stage, and has even proven practically, that any country can advance and increase its competitiveness by focused investments in talent and R&D. Continuous innovation and a highly trained workforce represent the most important capital for a country like Switzerland. There are several factors that make Switzerland stand out among industrialized countries. Let me name the 6 most important ones. First, Switzerland started early. Its emphasis on research and innovation has a long history. As early as the 19th century, far-sighted Swiss industrialists focused on innovation and technical excellence. Having a small domestic market, they realized that they could not compete with other players on mass production, but had to look for high quality and high value-added products based on research and innovation. Second, in a liberal economy like Switzerland, private R&D spending is very high, with approximately $13 billion per year. As a percentage of GDP, Swiss companies spend twice as much on R&D as the EU countries. Private sector expenditures, which contribute to 3/4 of all R&D in the country, is complemented by state funds for R&D, building strong public-private links in the funding and conduct of research. Third, Switzerland has some outstanding universities. With a population of 8 million, it has several top universities, among which the Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich is regularly considered the best outside US and UK. Fourth, I also want to emphasize on what I call the human factor. Switzerland, being a small and neutral country with no colonial past, has always been a safe haven to foreigners from Europe and all over the world. At the same time, Switzerland has benefited a lot in economic terms of the granted hospitality. Many internationally well-known enterprises like Nestlé or ABB have been founded by foreigners migrating to Switzerland because of its politically liberal and business-friendly environment. Over the centuries, Switzerland has always attracted an intelligent, skilled migrant population of professionals, entrepreneurs, and has succeeded in making them feel at home. This continues even today. It's also true for Indians. Fifth, a key success factor that enables and sustains innovation in Switzerland is the protection of intellectual property rights. Patents, trademarks, design rights, and copyrights are comprehensively protected. The Swiss Federal Institute of Intellectual Property ensures that innovative achievements are not misused by competitors. Six, to complement the R&D investments of the private sector, the Swiss government has also increased its efforts in internationalizing its research and innovation network by establishing a number of so-called Swissnex offices in Boston, San Francisco, Singapore, Shanghai, Bangalore, which are under the umbrella of its diplomatic missions. Swissnex is a platform for researchers and research organizations which aim at strengthening Switzerland's excellence as a location for science, technology and innovation, to share knowledge, form partnerships in science, higher education, technology and innovation. Moreover, the Swiss government has also set up the Swiss business hubs, which are also similarly integrated in diplomatic representations in key markets and aim at supporting both the Swiss export industry as well as foreign investors. In view of these factors, it does not come as a surprise that Switzerland consistently tops several international rankings on innovation. Moreover, a testament that Switzerland has always been a fertile ground for new ideas is emphasized with the fact that relative to the size of its population, Switzerland has produced the highest number of Nobel Prize winners in science and technical applications. Albert Einstein is one of the most prominent examples. Perhaps the best indication that its continued investment and innovation has benefited the country is the fact that the recent economic slowdown has not impacted the Swiss innovation drive. Swiss companies continue to invest in R&D despite the global downturn and have not cut back on research budgets. As a result of this persistent emphasis on R&D, Switzerland has today 4 strong and unparalleled innovation clusters: pharma, biotech and medtech, nanotechnologies, microtech, precision engineering, industrial manufacturing and new materials, information technology and financial services. In addition to this world-class R&D investments in the domestic business environment, Swiss companies have also internationalized their R&D activities to a great extent. In fact, they have more laboratories outside Switzerland than within. There is also a growing number of R&D facilities of Swiss companies here in India. The latest example being the new Nestlé R&D center in Magesar near Delhi. The creation of R&D centers abroad by Swiss firms has, however, not been accompanied by the closure of centers in Switzerland. On the contrary, Swiss and other foreign companies continue to set up their R&D facilities in Switzerland. When Google was considering setting up its Europe, Middle East, Africa headquarters that would also include R&D center, Switzerland was a natural choice. Although Google appreciated Switzerland's robust broadband infrastructure, it was the local talent that was the real appeal. As a percentage of GDP, Switzerland has the highest output of patents in the world and is home to hundreds of startups. As the Google CEO put it, Switzerland is a key location for the research and development of Google products. This is where the inventive spirit lives. It is interesting to note that just after Google, its competitor Yahoo followed suit with a similar setup in Switzerland. Today, India has emerged as an important global investor, ranked among the top 20 global sources for outbound investment. Switzerland is proud to be one of the preferred gateways to the European market for more than 100 Indian companies. We heard one example, a very successful example of Savar Swiss quality paper, and I think this is an example to copy. Another important sector for India outbound investments to Switzerland derives from the ICT sector. A large number of Indian ICT companies are increasingly investing or expanding their investments in Switzerland as it has become a promising growth market within continental Europe. Indian ICT companies generate revenues of more than $500 million from Swiss customers and have created more than 2,000 jobs in Switzerland. I'm pleased that Switzerland regularly ranks among India's top 5 European investment destinations. Some of these investments are fine examples of how Switzerland's strengths in innovation has translated into sustainable partnerships, and I take this opportunity to highlight a few. First, Tata. Tata Group, which was the first Indian company to invest in Europe by an outward foreign direct investment to Switzerland in 1961, has in the meantime established 8 Swiss subsidiaries. Another example is Glenmark. Another important innovation-driven investment from India was the establishment of R&D operations by Glenmark Pharmaceuticals. Glenmark was the first novel biological entity research and development facility to be set up by an Indian company overseas. Glenmark's 3,000 square meters laboratory in La Chaux-de-Fonds employs 60 highly qualified scientists. A noteworthy trend that further highlights innovation-driven investments is the acquisition of Swiss family-owned business which lack a family internal succession solution. Several examples exist, such as acquisitions by large Indian multinationals as well as small and medium-sized enterprises. Hindustan Construction Company, one of India's largest players in the construction industry, acquired Switzerland's based Karl Steiner AG, a well-reputed total service contractor in the Swiss real estate sector, and HCC is currently expanding with Steiner's service offering in the Indian market. Many other promising examples for innovation, technology and R&D-driven investments to Switzerland by Indian investors could be mentioned in highly specialized fields like surgical blades, poultry vaccine manufacturing and satellite technology. While the examples I have mentioned are a testimonial of Switzerland's capability to innovate, let me also briefly outline some of other competitive advantages. At the onset, let me be clear, Switzerland is neither a tax haven nor an offshore destination. The recently revised double taxation avoidance agreement with India provides for full-fledged information exchange in the case of both tax fraud as well as tax evasion. Thus, Switzerland is fully compliant with the latest OECD standards, and the reason for the growing number of investments from India to Switzerland has certainly nothing to do with issues related to tax evasion. However, it is true that Switzerland has moderate tax rates which accelerate foreign direct investments. Let me briefly elaborate on Switzerland's competitive advantages. Situated at the crossroads of Europe and fully integrated in the European market through various bilateral treaties, Switzerland provides direct access to the 500 million consumers in the European market. It has one of the most liberal and business-friendly environments with an outstanding capacity for innovation, world-class education and R&D institutions, a highly qualified labor force, flexible labor law, a developed financial center with comparatively low interest rates and interesting fundraising opportunities, an excellent transportation infrastructure, and last but not least, a high standard of living and quality of life. And with this also quite high salaries. For this reason, ladies and gentlemen, global multinationals such as IBM, General Motors, Kraft Foods, Philip Morris, Procter & Gamble, Dow Chemicals, Baxter DuPont, Yahoo and Google have established their European or global headquarters in Switzerland. Let me quickly elaborate on the strategic key factors by which Switzerland tries to ensure a consistently competitive business environment. An open and liberal labor market to ensure that the economy can quickly react and adapt new evolutions. A well-diversified economy with a strong export sector which has been forced to internationalize at an early stage and has focused on high-end, top-quality products less sensitive to global cycles. A dual system of vocational training and university education which is based on the concrete needs of the labor market and values practical know-how. An immigration policy which ensures access to top specialists and researchers who fit the needs of the economy and industries. A sophisticated and stable financial sector that meets the requirements of individuals, micro-business, SMEs, mid-caps, and multinationals. A continued investment on maintaining a high quality of infrastructure to attract investment, human resources and capital. A sound fiscal position with a healthy debt to GDP ratio. These factors enable Switzerland to stand the test of time and are probably the reason why Switzerland was less affected by the euro crisis as well as the economic slowdown as compared to other European countries. Compared to the rest of Europe, Switzerland is currently in good economic shape. While many European countries continue to pile up debt despite crippling austerity measures, Switzerland has continuously generated surpluses since 2006. Its debt to GDP ratio is now below 40%. Its unemployment rate is just above 3%. In light of these reasons, I am positive that Indo-Swiss partnerships will continue to grow and foster more innovation-driven collaboration in the future, thus contributing to the development and creation of wealth and employment in both our countries. In conclusion, I take this opportunity to stress that compared to most of Europe, Switzerland offers maximum stability and transaction security for foreign investors, even in uncertain times. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to engage with us and explore opportunities for R&D collaborations and innovation-driven investments. The Embassy of Switzerland in New Delhi, our Consulate General in Mumbai and Bangalore are happy to support you with your efforts. Thank you.